I am so very pissed off. As I said in another review, I was trying to record these reviews in a different way, which I always do. But then when I tried to make them, they all suddenly were blank. I mean, blank. There was not a single picture of that, and I was just getting like, what? What is going on? And it seems that I have to only use this one method I want right here and now. Because this is my review of a review I actually took down just 5 minutes after I uploaded it. Because, well, my voice was heard, but my face couldn't be seen. Maybe I should change them a little bit, only record them and then doing else. Because this can't go on happening. I cannot just use the same uploading method every single time. That it's only a matter of time before that computer crashes. Enough ranting. This is once again my re-upload version of the Fairy Tale chapter 508. I uploaded it, but I removed the video because of the reasons I just said. And let me just say, this chapter, even for Fairy Tale fanservice standards, were actually very... What? Was it bad? Oh, hell no. It was about time we saw something like this. But it did actually gain, but it was also a little bit like, as I just said, huh? What just happened? First, let's begin the chapter. Minerva and Rouge finally defeated their Historias. Although it's also worth noting that they may have been very well been affected by uh, Makarov's fairy law. Many of the battles have begun, but it's troops have fallen, but but the enemies are still not there. Elsewhere, also, Sorano and Angel look on the battlefield, although Sorano is still not wanting to be called sister. The one who enters this battlefield is none other than Rakid Dragneel, the guy of mystery, who now has given us even more mystery. As the sun goes up on him and he looks like he's praying, well, let's just say that he almost looks divine. And so he shows his magic that actually is way much more different than we thought. He somehow could send the spirits to the afterlife in a very good feeling. But now it seems to imply that this a very good feeling is actually a little bit sexual in nature. If not sexual, at least it seems to imply that it's, well, pleasuring in nature. It's even the name of his magic, pleasure. But the fact that they all move, touch their bodies, and all say like, "What is this?" And almost seems to cry tears and blush, stuff like that. It's also worth noting that the kids are not affected by this, but neither is Warren, and even Mavis and Luxus is affected by this, but Wendy and Ersa surprisingly not. So, well, what is this kind of movies? Oh, it's also worth noting that it appears that August have defeated Jalal. Wait, he has defeated Jalal? Did not like that. But I hope at least he did not, or I hope it wasn't Rakid's magic at least. The way August talked about it made it sound like that. We still do not know what Eileen's words were, but she is also being affected by Rakid's magic, meaning that this is just like many other Spring and 12, a magic that knows no enemy or ally. So the cats take Natsu and Grey away as Wendy stays behind to fight with Ersa, which is very good. With them joining hands, they can do it. So, actually, Eileen is actually sweating. Is this the implication that they can win, given how Rakid's magic is working on everybody? Is Although it doesn't work on August. Why? Is it because August is that powerful, or can he hide his pleasuring? But is this seems to imply that this is how they can defeat Eileen, being weakened by Rakid's pleasuring magic. It's also even Serv working on this. So yeah, this seems to almost have a very how they all react. It all seemed to be very sexual in nature. But what was that? The way Rakid describes it as is impossible for, for those who have already tasted forbidden fruits of pleasure to escape from my magic. Meaning that only those that have felt a forbidden fruit of pleasure, which I seems to think is sex or at least something else, um, they will all feel the pressure, and if they do it and if they feel it over and over again, they will die. And to add even further in the dose, he wraps uh, Yukino in white-like tentacles. Well, she's already very sexy dressed. Is that also meant to imply something? But the one who saves them is Kagura. So you mean it doesn't affect her? Does that have something to do with her, well, being like who she is, or this is something else? Is now Kagura the one who's gonna be fight, even though she struggled against so many before? Huh. Or is this gonna be another wolf effect? Probably another wolf effect. But yeah, the what is Luxus was also affected by this. Is this why Seraph said he's the key? Anyone that have felt pleasure of some kind will fall victim to that. But how they reacted, is that meant to be any kinds of pleasure, even sexual? If it's sexual, then that just means that, well, then every single one we saw right here, they are no longer virgins. But Warren wasn't affected by it. Is it? Is it? It wouldn't surprise me though. He's not a virgin. But Mavis and Seraph. Although at the end of this makes you wonder exactly. But Mavis, she didn't lose her virginity, did she? So it could very well be anything else. But Rakit ends this chapter with a line saying that I am more than his comrade. Sereth is my father. Okay, first we have Eileen with all her mysteries, and there's his connection. Now you're saying that the reason Rakid or Lakrid, whatever his name is, um, reason why he's named Ragil is because he is Sereth's son? How is that even possible? Unless, of course, Seraph once loved someone else and may have had the ability to produce an offspring. I think it's a little bit more complicated than that, though. All in all, I liked it. It was about time to see those female. I liked seeing those female faces doing all that. But this explains why Lacrade or Rakir is such a ace in the hole. It affects anybody. So give me your thoughts if you have any.